Hey guys, it's Chandra, and I want to show you how I made this little folio. And I used the Work Hard, Play Hard collection kit by Cardabella, and I will put a link in the description box where you can pick up this paper pack. And I believe if you use the code superhappy, I think I will just double check the box. You get 10% off. Um, so this is a 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 little mini album. My husband's birthday is in October, and he's a big sports fan. And so this paper is either sports or like cars would like mechanic-y type of things. Like one side seems to have sports, the other side has like mechanic or travel or something related to that. So here's the cover, and I used one of the cut aparts from the 12 by 12 paper collection on the front to decorate these pages. I did use the 6 by 6 paper pad. So you open it up and it has this 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 flap, and I used one of the stickers from the paper collection. And then here you have two flaps. I cut out two of the 3 by 4 journaling cards from the collection and put that on the front of each of these. And when you open it up, let me zoom out a little bit, you have pockets all along here. Like I said, this is a simple, quick little folio. There's a tag here, and I decorated the front and the back, and here's another cut apart. And then the same on this side. Here's a tag. I used the sticker from the collection here, and then it's blank on the back. And then you have this large pocket, so you can make multiple tags of the same sizes and put them in there if you want to have more pictures. This is the 6 by 6 sheet, so you could probably cut 3 or 4 of each of these tags and put them on each of these pockets. There is a 1/4 inch gusset here, so it should hold just fine. And then I just stuck a piece of cardstock on the back to hide where I put the flaps. So you are going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, two that measure 6 1/4 by 4 3/4, one that measures 6 1/4 by 7, two that measure 5 by 3 1/2, and a 7 1/4 by 3 1/2 piece of cardstock of your choice. The 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 sheet, you're not going to score it all. That's going to be the back of the folio. So I don't know how I ended up with 2 of those, but I did. So you are going to score the 2 pieces that are 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. You're going to score these both on the 4 3/4 inch side. And what I mean by that is the 4 3/4 inch side is at the top. So I'm sticking it in, and this is 6 inches going vertical, and it's 4 3/4 going horizontal. So the first score mark is going to be at 1/2 inch, and then the second score mark is going to be at 3/4 inch, which is the dot between the 1/2 and the 1. And I'm going to do that to the second piece as well. I'm scoring at 1/2 inch and then at 3/4 inch. The next piece is 7 1/4 by, no, it's 7 by 6 1/4. So I'm going to score on the 7 inch side at 1/2 inch and then at 3/4. You're going to have 2 sheets that measure 5 by 3 1/2. On the 5 inch side, I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and 4 1/2. I'm going to rotate it to the 3 1/2 inch side is at the top, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, and we're going to do that again. So again, on the 5 inch side, I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and then at 4 1/2. I'm going to rotate it so that the 3 1/2 inch side is at the top, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. These are going to be our pockets for our flaps. Now we have a piece that measures 7 1/4 by 3 1/2. So the 7 1/4 inch side is at the top, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and 6 3/4 inch. I'm going to rotate it so that the 3 1/2 inch side is at the top, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. And that's all the scoring. I do have two pieces. This is where the 6x6 piece comes in. This is for the pockets, the tag in the pocket that is 6x6. And then I have two that are cut at 3 3/4 by 6, and those are the tags for the side pockets. So I'm going to put up my scoreboard, and I am going to first bring my 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 sheet here, and then I have the two pieces that have 2 score marks and the large one that has 2 score marks. And I am just going to fold on my score marks, and I'm going to try to make sure that this fold is straight. Okay, so now this is unfolded, and I have this 1/2 inch score mark and then a 1/4 of an inch score mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this tape on the little flap that is 1/2 inch. I'll bring it up for you to see. This piece right here is 1/2 inch, and then the distance between these two little score marks is a 1/4 of an inch. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the corners on both sides, just like you do in woodworking. I'm going to bring my 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 sheet back, and I am going to stick the flap down so that the sticky adhesive is facing down, and I'm going to line this score mark of this flap with the cut edge of the paper, and then I'm going to burnish it down. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to take these two pieces, excuse me, that we cut. These are the ones that measure 6 1/4 by 4 3/4, and I'm just burnishing on my score marks. I'm going to do that to both pieces. I'm lining this up, the side up, so that they're both straight, and then I'm burnishing down just to make sure that it's straight. So again, when I unfold it, you'll have a 1/2 inch here and then a 1/4 inch here, and I'm going to stick my tape on the 1/2 inch side, which is the flap that I'm going to miter again on both sides. And this is what I'm sticking to the back. What I do is I cut from the corner of the score mark out to the edge of the paper here. So I'm cutting off that corner. Again, I'm going to take off the tape backing, and I'm going to fold this flap down so that the adhesive now is facing down. We have the 1/4 inch gusset here, and that is going to be facing up, and I'm applying it to the back. So I'm making sure that my score mark is lined up with the cut edge of the paper, which is going to be my back. And I'm going to flip that open. I'm going to do exactly the same thing to the second piece. So I have this 1/2 inch flap here. I'm going to line it up to the cut edge of my base here. Now I'm going to flip the whole thing over, and I'm going to fold it, and I'm making sure that it's straight here before I burnish it down, just in case I cut crooked or I did something crooked. Like this right here, I have a little tiny piece there that's not lined up, and I'm going to do the same to this. And then I'm going to fold it back up, making sure that it's lined up here. And so this creates the little folio with the gussets on each side here. So when you fold it back, you'll have those 1/4 inch gussets here on both sides, and then you'll have this 1/4 inch gusset right here. And that allows for the pockets and the stuff to be in the pockets. So now I'm going to open this up. Here's the flap on the top. I'm going to take that piece that measured 7 1/4 by 3 1/2, and I'm going to fold on those 3 score lines that we did, and this is going to create a pocket. I'm actually going to do all 3 pieces at the same time. So we have this big one here, and then we have the 2 smaller ones, which are 5 by 3 1/2. And so I'm just burnishing, I'm folding on those score marks and making sure that there's a good fold. And here we go. And so now I'm going to apply tape on these 1/2-inch pieces here that are created from when we folded the paper. I'm going to do that to all 3 pieces. You do not have to put tape on the squares that are formed from the score marks, because you're just going to cut out that square. So you don't have to put tape there, and you can use wet glue if you'd like. It's completely up to you. I would use a stronger glue than the ATG though, so you can use score tape, wet glue. Now I'm just going to press on this score tape just to make sure that it is all stuck down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this square. When you score here and fold, and you score here and fold, this creates this square right here. So I'm going to miter again. So I'm going to cut up towards the fold line, the score line there, and I'm going to do it on the other side. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting out this shape here, and I'm doing that on this side as well. Let me see if I can keep this one up here to show you what I'm talking about here. So you cut out the square, but you cut them out at a little angle so that you can fold this without the bulk. So you, if you're making a pillowcase or something like that, when you fold your fabric in, you cut off the corners so it doesn't create a bunch of bulk. You do the same in scrapbooking. Okay, so I have all my corners cut out. I'm going to apply the big one down first. If for some reason you notice that something's crooked, or when you close your pages that you have something sticking out, you can go ahead and cut that off if you'd like. I am going to take off the tape backing on all 3 sides, and I'm going to put this down so that the face of the pocket is down. When you fold these flaps in, the sticky side is now going to be sticking up. I like to fold my side flaps down and then the bottom up. That's just what I prefer to do. So my tags, they just seem to not get stuck as easily in there, but it doesn't really matter how you fold them. So now we're going to do the exact same thing to the left and the right side flaps. I'm taking off the tape backing here, putting it down, so now the adhesive is sticking up. I'm folding the bottom flap up, and I'm going to line this folded edge up with the edge of this flap here so that I do not get it too close to my score line, because if it's on that score line, it's not going to fold right, and you don't want that to happen. So just make sure that you're not on your score line. Mine still folds. You can see it's pretty close to the score line, but it is not on the score line. You want to make sure that you don't put anything on your score lines, or else it won't close properly. So I'm applying this last pocket here, and again I'm lining it up to the left side and to the bottom, and I'm burnishing down. Now those pieces that I cut, put here and then here, and so now you can decorate it any way that you like. I like to leave a 1/4 inch for my matting. So if my page example, this is 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, I would cut my sheet 6 by 6 to mat on top of there. It's the same with this. This measures 4 by 6, so I would cut this at 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 so that you get the nice little 1/8 inch border all around your paper. And I hope you liked it. Sorry I've been gone. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. I am going to post another video after this. It's me going through this completely, decorating it and doing everything. I recorded it because I was going to do a voiceover, and then I decided not to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put music onto it and then fast forward it a little bit. This is the tutorial. I'll try to link this to that video in case you want a step-by-step, but if you want to see the process on how I make or design my folios, you'll be able to see it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.